Now, the second part of my presentation, focusing on our contribution to the bottom line of our customers. How can we help them to increase their EBITDA? And that is what we see with modernizing your enterprise software. And we believe that we can even outperform the peers by modernizing the enterprise software solutions. And then being an expert in manufacturing, supply chain and logistics, retail and wholesale industries, and also ISVs, we even can leverage our technology, and let's go and to show you. But I mean, there is what we see, shortage of developers. More and more, what we see even by UWV is a Dutch social workforce organization for the government. They control all the payments therein, and they see that in the last years, the shortage has staggered with 270% in the last 5 years. We even see at the cost of a developer, in the median cost for a software developer is still over 100,000 euros. And even the recruitment cost sometimes can be 30,000 euros. There is a vendor lock-in on current code, no code, and increase the cost due their mandatory annual subscriptions, who even often go up. And the more users, the more it goes up. How do we as Rappit solve this problem? We feel that 4 times our cutting-edge high productivity platform Rappit offers a productivity increase of 4 times or more when compared with that to traditional development methods. Also, our hourly rates are very fair, given that most 95% of all our engineers are in the Netherlands. And we combine that with people in India, and we combine that with people of the Netherlands. That means we pay our people in rupees, and all that means we can even share it with our customers what we do in dollars and euros. There we see vendor lock-in is avoiding by enabling our customers to run and maintain their applications and then independently of our platform. That's also a strong, important element. They can run it and they're not dependent on us if they continue. Rappit, we feel that Rappit is the only high productivity platform that solves developers scarcely without a vendor lock-in. That is an important element where normally you see, and what I mentioned in the presentation before, we have seen the problems with this tremendous vendor lock-in with the ERP players. If we see there in old code sometimes, and then forever lock-in, and you cannot go to something else. No, that's where we came to an offering to build our development platform without a vendor lock-in, and give it everyone in the hand of the customer. Our focus is still on the industry and logistics retail. Although the platform fits everywhere, we can have partners who deal with it in the resale, maybe, but also partners who deal in healthcare or so. But I believe if we can handle manufacturing, you can handle the whole industry. And manufacturing was always quite advanced if we look to this, and therefore manufacturing, that's where our experience came from. It's also supply chain, logistics and wholesale, with applications, data, AI and infrastructure, offering modernizing solutions to it. Most qualified in Google Cloud, although we are agnostic, but our focus is on Google Cloud as what we see the most innovative company. Also, especially what we see now with Gemini and all these modern tools, what they are offering for AI, it's real high promising. 10 years of experience, what we have in this platform. We have 200 certified developers, many developers are in, 75 individual certifications. And 2020, we were the most loved partner award, what we achieved from Google in the Benelux. 2 specializations, one is application development, the other is infrastructure, and many certificates. Our offering, the elements where we worked afterbound company, and even the same in quarters where we built the BPM platform, we continue that, but then in the newest technology, building our Rappit platform. And that means two elements: software productivity suite on Google Cloud for what we say. One is the Rappit development environment for high productivity coding, as an alternative for programmers, and the other one is for no-code, the Rappit Composer for no-code apps and workflow. And with these tools, we built already two adaptable solutions. One is Undoc for documents, later on more, and the other one is the shop floor. It means our focus from app development support and data analytics with Gen AI and cloud operations. Being a self-serving Google partner therein gives us a very strong position and a lot of knowledge therein. A Rappit technology stack proven on Google means Rappit Developer is an application development accelerator on Google platform. Means our tooling 10 times cloud native app development and application modernization for these apps, where we leveraging real which I should say Cloud Run, App Engine, etc. That means gives it a real very strong environment, and the result is that we can build with Google Cloud Platform enterprise apps within 4 till 6 weeks, all BigQuery enabled. Rappit Composer is an enterprise mobility and configuration integration. And that means this composing element is focused on our workflow as micro apps and integration. We empower citizen developers, no-code, low-code approach, and including real task-oriented workflow. And there we can build very rapid in 2 till 4 weeks already micro apps. Undoc, and Undoc is a rapidly unlock document automation at scale for your E2E solutions. It's also there in a set of custom models and building blocks on top of Doc AI to develop custom solutions for automatic document extraction and processing, and solution used for scale available as a package offering. And we can start this very soon and build with this package offering already custom solutions in production in 6 till 8 weeks. What is the acceleration development platform doing, our Rappit development tools doing? That means we can, for the first time, is unique. We are now able aligning IT and business. What was in Baan's time always difficult, even in Corey's time, we are now able, with a business consultant, a business analyst, immediately to collaborate with the product owners in the enterprise, the smart people who own the product and knows everything around it and all the processes. And together, immediately, we can bring the requirements together. We do that in a design studio, and see this design studio for the first time that everything is off in the design studio. From that moment, with everything later is on one place where we generate everything. It's a strong offering, and from there we create prototype screens instantly. That means on the same moment allows users to play already with screens and see the input. That means the owners immediately see the screens, and that helps tremendous instead of having that half a year later and you have no clue what it means. We even then with UX on the UI part, we can improve tremendous also with their experts from us already, the simplicity to show how you can optimize your microservice products. Then we generate code. Immediately we do a jump start. We can work already from 50 to 80% in optimizing the code. And then the developer even can add functionality to complete the application. The last mile can be still done by the developer. Compare that maybe a little as a metaphor with autonomous cars. We expected for many years that cars became autonomous, but it takes longer and longer and longer. We expect for many years that software generating could become autonomous, but it takes longer and longer and longer. It's more complicated the closer you come than you expected. Now, what is beauty by these autonomous cars, if you look to a Tesla, etc., still they came to the conclusion not to quit the steering wheel. and it means still the steering wheel is therein. The car is driving better than I can drive, but on the moment I have to edit something for the last mile, immediately I take up the steering wheel and I can do it there. And I think that is then, I should say, a very important element to do this and bring it there. Now, let me see, the same is what we can do on the latest moment. The developer can do the last mile, but we generate better code than even normally the developer can develop. On the same moment, then we integrate and automate all the CI/CD, the continuous integration and continuous development solutions therein with a single click for these script enabling pipelines. And then we make it available for our dev, I mean, all our DevOps elements are even therein. And then we make it even available for multi-cloud. Could be Google, could be Amazon. And although Google is our preferred partner. And then the database synchronization with dashboards is also automatically synchronized. And the data is going into Google BigQuery, and we build dashboards using Google Looker, etc. No vendor lock-in, what we mentioned already. The customer owns the source code. We optimize them even with GitLab, and it even gives a readable source code where they continue their work if they like to do it themselves. Ownership of the full source code with no vendor lock-in by the customer. We are addressing key needs, I should say. The market trend is a developer shortage, mentioned already, faster time to market, also emerging of no-code, low-code platform of productivity tooling. Cloud native application development is what we even like to do there, and big data and artificial intelligence needs is what we are even addressing. And then on the same moment, then we see the pain points where we have solutions. The unclear requirements is now much easier because immediately you see what's going on. We never, with this process, missing timelines. Low code, no code have their limitations. We can do the last mile. Performance security, afterthoughts, and how to leverage the best practice, and also how to empower by developers. Important elements with accelerating and democratizing the entire application development with a life cycle. That means open, if open technology based, also own the app source code without vendor lock-in, own your data, running it in Google Cloud Platform and no runtime license. Flexible for the developer, easy integration, especially with the REST API, could even, if needed, the SOAP API, and then also what we see generates apps across the cloud on-premise. Fast, by building the right solution, because immediately we collaborate with the business owners. That's one of the most unique elements. We're dealing direct with the owners of business. And in the past, IT could never understand the business, and aligning IT and business was always a problem. Now, this is a big element with also iterative business opportunities and collaborations with this prototyping element. Jumpstart immediately already, generating something 30 to 80%, and see already what it means. And swift development of generating apps into production with a landing zone ready. That means all the cybersecurity elements are incorporated and really reducing cost and reducing headaches. Best practice means also I mentioned the CI/CD scripts automatically generated, optimizing hosting costs, where we can focus on the cost price for even cloud solutions, how to do this, and optimizing their cost with data security, also performance, enabling Google Cloud with BigQuery and even artificial intelligence. What we built in the last years, a lot of components, and first it was as a skill department where we did it ourselves by our customers in a project-based solution who became a product. And it means our skill departments we built our own skills based on open source code for what you're seeing, the element in backend services, requirements design, writing the code, APIs, running across devices, role-based, entity relations, generate UI screens, navigation, change logs, data modeling, integrating with queries, automatic test case, GitLab integration. We generate the CI/CD scripts, configure workflows, multi-language, could be every language. You work in your own language, are generated. Now, based on best-in-class tools, where we have a reputation already in the last, I should say, 25 years, understanding this one, and with open source codes, and then optimizing for Google Cloud. But even enabling is possible for Amazon, and do it in an enabling development and deployment at scale for open, secure, flexible, scalable, and data enabled. We Dockerize it. That means it's open for everywhere. If we use also what you say with what Kubernetes and all the stuff, we even are able to Dockerize the application and containerize everything with our web image. And we can have our cloud app engine in the second generation doing it, or with Docker we can go to Amazon on-prem on another cloud run, and even in the Java world, and even on-prem together. Is flexible, seamless integration and multi-cloud strategy. That means very rapid. I mentioned already, in 3 hours we like to do a workshop and immediately prioritize already what we can support and how to do it. In 3 days we do our visualization screens, etc., that the user knows already what's going on, and in 3 weeks we have already a minimum viable product with a working pilot, and immediately shows the speed helps us tremendous. Also understanding each other better and going that quick. In the Composer, we call it the old days Flow Create. We changed the name now to Rappit Composer in the Rappit family, but as a flow, how to create these flows, and even focusing on workflows. A micro app with integration platform that enables citizen developers to increase their productivity and offer connectivity. That means the citizen in the past with their spreadsheets now increase tremendous the productivity of their workflow in a structured way. No code, low code to compose the micro apps, allow business users to create workflow apps without coding, zero coding, improve entity workflow, and configure it very, very easy, very fast. In an easy way, the Composer means micro apps are mobile focused, performing on specific tasks to optimize the task and to do the job, for the job to be done, doing it well, bringing the task and the content to the employee in a single click access, and simplifying interactions with backend, with complex backend, make it very easy. And API mapping is very simple with other silos and SaaS systems, and also app tools on administration for running it in an easy way with a library of ready-to-use features and use cases for workflow apps integration with connectivity, mobility, and platforms to it. And again, also, but this is here for what we did in the last, I should say 2005 already, is last close to 20 years, where we will especially 15 years, tools on infrastructure with feeds, with task, authentication, user groups, workflow engine, job manager, data access layer, API manager, data store, data index, file store, app development pages, views on menus, the workflow, external web services, what we there see, if we see the with webhooks in an easy way to connect them all together. Then also dashboards, Java sources, email templates to even optimize your email traffic, app roles and schemas, etc. And for the deployment, the application packaging, export apps, import device instances and device apps. Means no code, low code, simple, a database-centric for workflow-centric application with integration, mobile and offline support. Even if your mobile not working, you can continue with your offline support. Real multi-tenant, we did it already last century, I should say. We have a lot of experience over there. And many applications in a single portal, which you can take many applications, unite them together for easy access. For citizen developer, no worry what it means for infrastructure deployment database that is consumerized, and scaling and the security. All those elements are productized in our tools. And then also micro front end user UI components. We make it very glad, very modern, where you see that the traditional ERP solutions, I should say, they stink a little if you look to the UI. Very old-fashioned UI and very complicated. And that means the users have to learn the applications from the backend. Now it's the opposite. We incorporate the backend and made workflows where we increase the productivity in a modern way with look and feel for the users. That means in many cases, users can become twice more productive. Now we're seeing the way of look and feel is what we do in this Rappit Composer is super exciting with modern look and feel and the platform for the next level. And we see in an easy way what I'm doing, what do I have, what can I use again, single sign-on going in. We see who is developed this application for CRM or portal, etc. We pick them up, even say, okay, now we like to make a UI modernization, and we do it in a warranty claim or code. Then in the same moment, immediately we see then all our claims by status, what means it, and how long it takes. Every time you're going in the application, they give you the status. Now, this is an example of what we do with Vlasta, and say, okay, this could be a warranty claim. Now we see here the flow of a warranty claim. Now, and very, very fast, we can create them between a dealer and a supplier with the after sales, with the slim lines. What means this? That means this warranty claim immediately will generate the workflow. That is done by the system, not I do it. No, from the workflow, the system generates the workflow claim, and on the same moment we see also that is extremely interesting. We see the timeline. We see this simple task, who's coming after this task, when it is submitted, then it's going to me, this guy is doing the workflow, and then in progress, and what time is it going. That means for the first time, realize that our workflow for the first time gives insight. Now we have no idea who's doing what at what time. In ERP, we had time. We did a masterwork in scheduling, and once a day we did this masterwork scheduling, and all these bills of materials were united together. And what time do we have to buy and build some things? Now, but on the workflow, no one knows what's going on. Now we can do, instead of masterwork and scheduling or a project requirements planning, we can do maybe a people resource planning, have insight in all your workflow apps, because in our fundamental architectural elements, in the timeline, the time is involved, and we can give already alerts earlier. Hey, you can expect maybe over an hour to do this job. Are you available, or who is available? On the same moment, the grid tool can search and who can main and combine and is available, and assess very easy with these templates to fill this in with this warranty claim. You see immediately already what are the claim details, what means it, and on the same moment what schemas are used, and you see, okay, it's an XML schema. Yeah, it's generated. Okay, what is it? Now we see the XML schema. Even I can change it by hand as needed. Now, that makes it easy, and especially if you go to the mapping, that is the real where we are superior. That is where we worked for many years to optimize this type of stuff. In the claim, immediately can go to the mapping to every outside system in a what-if scenario with all the variations and etc. And doing it in a very, very easy way, doing it by the business user without any programming knowledge on this one, like a spreadsheet. Warranty claim. Okay, why could I take this warranty claim not only for a spreadsheet? I take a sheet, I take a spreadsheet, and then in this spreadsheet, I see already some data from this orders, request roles, and this is maybe good enough already for a good starting point. And immediately in 1 minute, I pick it up and I see a warranty claim, and I have already the first program is available, and I see immediately already all those claims with the statistics, work order by status, by issue, etc. It's warning me already and give me already the beginning of the workflow where I can finish and optimize it a little. You see, instead of a spreadsheet, I see it already done in a workflow. It's coming from in a few minutes from a spreadsheet. Immediately bring it up. Therefore, you see that many spreadsheets are doing some real workflow type of activities, can now quick adopt it and optimize them and going there further. Same for Undoc. Undoc also built with this flow create product, and then where we can easy, very simple, build document recognitions. Every document, every OCR, PDF document can now be analyzed. It means every document PDF from the internet could be read, understand, unlocked with all this Google knowledge and this machine learning from Google. See what it is, understand it, and make it useful, and make it a dynamic document. That means, what is a document? A document is representing the job to be done from out of the legacy systems. Now, the document is maybe produced already 20 years ago or 30 years ago with very old-fashioned products and logic, but the document is still live today. That means then we ignore all the old legacy stuff. We take the current document and we make it a dynamic app, and we even can improve it and escape a little from this old world with these documents. Means the solution is extract information using OCR. With Google's OCR, with optimal character elements, we recognize it, we understand the text immediately, and even we execute the workflow for applications. Continue for meaningful, like invoice schemas, and bring it in your ERP system or HR system, etc. Now, this is what we did for eConnect. eConnect, with 40 employees, they do 2.5 million documents. We built for them and made it as an OEM deal, their applications with our tool. That means with Flow Create, we're building all their solutions for their eConnect documents. But then we had these PDF documents who were still isolated, and then we optimized them with Undoc and link them even together. And that is how we're able now to bring it in. We can immediately generate automatically 85%, but we can finish by hand because we have the human interaction. 4 times faster, and 2.5 million invoice blues per year, and in less than a year they have an ROI in doing this one. How are we doing this one? This recognition for eConnect, we can go everywhere in the email, take only the related parts, only those data who are related with, say, Chamber of Commerce or some elements, and then we take the text extraction with OCR. And then with machine building, we build our document type detection model, transferring learning with Keras TensorFlow, a lot of Google stuff, and then with this document detection, with these tools, with even open source tools, with machine learning, optimize them, and then they are available, convert them to UBL and integrate them with software, underbuilding it with Kubernetes, for even MI, machine learning, AI with Kubeflow, learning and pipelines, etc. By Google, the leading in what we say industry leading AI technology. That's Google, the most important one with all these tools herein, and that gives us a lot of best practice stuff. And again, from Undoc, medium to large enterprises, we can read invoices or other documents, and even with OCR, recognize the fields, match them, post them to finance, and store them. Now, means Undoc, building it to end-to-end solutions. We scan it, require a response, and we convert them with all this Google stuff and modeling and AI, and optimize them to what we call verification, where the human can do the last mile, optimize them and continue, and then the prediction, the dashboard, and is document services. And then we use in-depth Google technology, again, with Google as the leader, a lot of Google technology, what we could compose and link them together in our platform. I think that is the secrets where we could do this and have all the benefits therein, and understanding the tools around verification, build delivery, prediction, etc., OCR, and do it in an agnostic way, can be stored everywhere, can be talked with every even data layer, Postgres, etc., MySQL, SQL Server, runtime components in Undoc. And again, also these building blocks for development tools, what we're using for communication protocols to link them together, and also for AI, what we bring them there in. And now, by Vandenberg, I should say, we are the only high productivity platform, if you look to it, without a vendor lock-in. For robust applications, we have shown that, I will come with examples, a workforce of 200 certified experts in enterprise software modernization. The core people are working already more than 25 years with us. They even came from Baan with me and even joined me in Cordis and even joined me in Vaneburg. History over 45 years with groundbreaking solutions. But I explain you in the first presentation how we were able to build ERP on a world scale. And even today, the technology is still world scale. Amazing to see that. We built a totally from scratch new solution for Newport, a kind of an ERP solution for all their resource for real, tank containers who are doing the door-to-door, all type of shipments in transportation, container, everything around the container door-to-door. Now, those companies, they are smart in business and they saw that off-the-shelf products could not help them. Because off-the-shelf products had only 50-60% of their functionality, and they were saying we should become a software company. And we know our processes better than the competition, and we can reduce our fixed costs maybe more than 50% with all these machine learning tools if we understand all those complex door-to-door transportation elements they are in, and we know that. And they asked us to build it because they could not build. And we built it with our modern tools, what helped us even to have a better understanding of this logistic knowledge. And now it gives us a more footprint in this whole industry they're in. Now, we are extremely successful, reducing tremendous costs. They do 24,500 containers, 1.5 million transactions in a week, a lot of machine learning, and with this undock platform, what we did. From there, we moved easy to a part, transportation, Farouk, transportation company. We did a new transportation management solution on for them because they were obsolete and they really could not find another good one, and we optimized that to a real microservice transportation management solution for their 450 trucks, 950 employees. And they saved 25% in real replacing these digital elements and transportation from this terrible stuff in Microsoft with this Excel, Word, Outlook, etc. process elements. Terrible to do. This one is now done in a dynamic way. Before, in 7 days, we could do already a POC, 100% match, and ready to functional. Another interesting one is 40% of all the seats, global seats in the market, are produced by Keygen, who is owned by 4 leading seat companies in the world. Enzazaden and Rijkszaden in the Netherlands and Vilmarin, and in Japan, Taki, they have an alliance. These 4 shareholders invested pre-competitive solutions to do some things what they could not do for 40% of the world of seats in tomatoes or anywhere. They have to store hundreds of terabytes of data per customer. Now, and that was a problem. There are real data elements. A small company under 50 employees, but extremely a lot of data. In the heart of Google, and Google replaced them and came to us, and they brought them to us, and we were able to help them tremendous in building a landing zone, in securing all those data with artificial intelligence, help them visualization, sharing the speed up of the molecular breeding, also an important element, secure the whole environment, best in class practices with this landing zone, leveraging the Google Cloud, cloud upstream, where we are able to help them, and scalable and performing. Extremely interesting solutions. Another one, Omoda, a real Dutch modern retail fashion store in clothing and shoes now, fast growing, 60%, 50% growing a year from offshore and also and fashion stores together and online elements therein. And there they were very, I should say, attractive. They can ship. They see the EBITDA already from a customer on the moment they enter their webpage. Very advanced, where they build themselves with modern technology in the front end, but they struggle tremendous with the back end. They're the AS400 system with all this homegrown, specific complex warehouse management specifications and etc. They could not find an off-the-shelf product, and they struggle real. And we built for them a state-of-the-art warehouse management solution, open Java-based, and implement them. And again, it could be a good foundation to go more to other off-the-shelf warehouse management solutions. Now, another one is Hunkemuller. If you see its retail, 850 stores in 23 countries, 15 online shops. They embrace Google because they are a big SAP store and say we have to change, we have to go with SAP to the cloud. And they have high expectations to reduce the cost by 60%, managed to reduce the development time and cost by 60%, and doing that by using Google SAP to Google Cloud Rise and unlock the agility in all these customer needs, etc. And we helped them, and they were pleased with us. And there we see there in the IT director Gordon Smith mentioned in October 2 months ago on the Benelux Cloud Summit what they're doing. And they built now the first application in Google Cloud Platform. They store the information database, and they're partnering with Vandenberg. And we know how to reduce all these elements in the SAP world to minimize and limitate all this SAP and going to the specific retail elements on the front end. Now, and for them, it's nice to hear that they say, okay, they have to work extremely hard to follow us. Normally it's the opposite way. I think that is also a good sign. The challenge to keep at the same pace at the vendor is a problem for them. Now, that's for us a good problem to have, but that is again what we can do. Do it 5 times, 10 times faster than traditional people can do this and understand the business they're in. Another one, a real important one for us, our lighthouse account is Solvay. 22,000 employees where we do everything around their cloud. 30 billion in 61 countries, 99 sites. And there we built for them, what if you accelerate your digital transformation? They use us to do this one. And in Google's cloud, accelerating everything, especially the security elements, what we did with a dedicated team. And then the development done by 100%, and then cutting the cost in half, and improving the employee and customer application satisfaction by 50%. Because we bring now modern applications in a modern user interface where the user themselves have more benefit, and we can understand the user better to improve it. That is where we see now for the first time satisfaction by the users, because we are in their camp and helping them. Now, what are they doing? Lilian, as Software Factory lead, is explaining why they selected us for Google. So they see us as partnership for all this element in a professional way for app development, app maintenance, and especially operating cloud, the landing zone. That was the core element, how to have a secured cloud with all those modern stuff therein. And Solvay, we could continue do this one. And there we built a landing zone that is validated by Accenture. And this landing zone is now a famous skill for us, what we can use everywhere. But it was one of the world-leading companies in cybersecurity. And with all those elements, their knowledge they had inside around the tendency standards, around the access management, automation, shared services, monitoring, reporting, etc. Now, security by design, we built this. We did a deep dive in all those, again, components from Google, what we did by Undock, the same here. Google is leading on the world with cybersecurity components, many components, and we were able to compose them very cheap and compose them in our offering. And that means now we build a totally landing zone where they have all those elements with their own knowledge to improve them. How are we dealing with security, about network policy, about access, about integration methodology, security center integrations? What about the tendency? Is it name conventions, tagging, labeling? Now, in that from them, we do it and see it now as a starting point everywhere. That can reduce 10% of the IT costs, what is normally selected for what we see cybersecurity, and hard for the Russians to come in. resource hierarchy, just-in-time access, patches, monitoring, system performance, how system availability, what we want, billing alerts, on-premise connectivity, centralizing logging, Terraform workspaces. Now, this is a very professional way, what is even now even productized by us, available for every customer. Valeo, another light account we do already for 15 years with more than 110,000 employees. We were able to build 50 most business critical apps out of the Lotus Notes, where they normally build them in simple apps, low code, but what they could not do themselves. We built them very low total cost of ownership, and with our partnership, what we built them, and integrated them with SAP and PeopleSoft platforms. They have 40,000 also SAP users, where they all linked, and all those apps. Some apps will have 1,000 users, some apps will have 60,000 users and running every day with tens of thousands of users with a high scalable element. Now, we could build them in 3 months, totally integrated, but I mentioned already. Why choosing us? Because Vanenburg, as digital agents do not understand the business, and Big Six are too expensive and not agile, what Vanenburg could do for them, both technology and about processing, and rapid development to replace these Lotus Notes applications and challenging this type of stuff. Now, let me give you a very interesting example of what we did last year for them. I mentioned already this Valeo, and we built a Microsoft project killer. Valeo has 40,000 SAP users, 110,000 employees. Now they're doing 20 billion, also like 20 billion revenue, 2 billion R&D, 2%, 10% of their revenue. Amazing in automotive. And this 2 billion, they are the most patents in France and the biggest R&D patent in France. They're in 33 countries, 187 product sites. They're working as one entity altogether. They built a few products. A wiper, a lightning. A wiper is their number one. A lightning, their number one in visibility. The wiper and the lightning in your car is coming from Valeo. If you do some things in Tesla or anywhere with your assisting systems and driving assistance, etc., the Valeo is bringing the tools, the product for this one. And if you go to the powertrain, your electrical system, if we look there in here, and transformation system, Valeo is a leader. Your thermal system, you have to go to Valeo. Now, here, to do this one, some projects take 10 years, and they spend a lot in R&D, and this R&D is spent in 63 centers. And they have to collaborate with all these 187 factories. They have 22,000 employees running this one, and they decided not to do their R&D project management in SAP. Say it's too complicated, and then we make SAP again 5 times too complicated. And it was a wise decision years ago. Say, instead of doing everything in one SAP system and make it more complicated, this is more project-oriented, specific project-oriented, very complex project-oriented. Let's take Microsoft. Then Microsoft was capable, and they used Microsoft, but it's all on-prem, traditional, for 6,000 users running it. But then they saw the limitations of Microsoft, and then in the last years, we built around the 6,000 Microsoft users from these 22,000 users, a lot of microservices, big microservices, as even mini ERP apps already as microservices. One for my advanced project on top of it, my project workload for forecasting management, for all the forecasting, Teams capacity, my timesheet. They do 3.5 million hours in a month. Yeah, that was terrible to do it in the Microsoft way. It took by far too long. They do it here 20 times faster with my timesheets. Now, with my profile, my program, my industry, my dashboards, all those micro apps were focused on the workflow capabilities of the R&D people and not on the back end. totally optimized and incorporating the backend part of Microsoft project. But they felt more problems because it could not scale, and they had not also these old terrible legacy solutions instead what they have seen by Google, etc. And they had a desire to replace this one. And there were some off-the-shelf products, but they were not integrated. And we could convince them to do it in a few months to replace all the 6,000 users in a new project-related solution who is incorporating with these other complex Microsoft projects. And we could do it. And we did it on our own course, because then we are now the owner of all this intellectual property with all the knowledge what we have here. And that could be a totally new alternative for a project solution, compare maybe with Infor manufacturing solutions or anywhere. And I will come back on it to explain that, because when it is more product oriented, why should you use the ERP stuff who is more generic oriented? Now, again, we build it, and I mentioned already advanced projects. They're running with 11,000, managing 11,000 manufacturing innovative projects, sometimes for 10 years. The project workload, they trace ROI for time spent in forecasting for 6,000 managers every day from these 20,000 people. They could not handle it longer in Microsoft. And they do it now with a few clicks, having all the stuff there together. My time recording, they do it for 22,000 users. They're logging 3.5 million hours each month, and they have tens of millions of hours. Now, my department capacity, allocating and planning a tool for 200 departments in 200 countries, and do it all. Now, that's all what we took with us, incorporate them in our new offering. With all the knowledge of them, in a few months, we were able to build that for 20,000 users. Say Vallejo Teams for complete project management, small size solutions using Google Apps and designing best practice. In an extremely modern way, they used the BI interface. That means we had to convince with the traditional system, therefore we built the Studio API, that even the traditional system could deal, even by the suppliers, could deal with a modern system. We were able to implement that in 2 days, 3 days, because we did it in the same working environments like they did in the old system. They say we have not to change the whole working style, we have to change the infrastructure of it, and then permanently we can improve this one. That was also an extremely unique element. That's what we did with all the other projects, even before they were always implemented immediately. It's a totally new way of dealing. The same what you see in the old systems, intuitive. You learn it in a few minutes and you run it based on App Engine, Firestore, BigQuery, Cloud Storage, Cloud Run, Docker, with Kubernetes Engine. And we adopted in a very modern way this Gantt chart, where we moved this Microsoft element in a very modern way together. Now, means architectural elements, Angular, Bootstrap, Java, Google, Self Kubernetes, Firestore, etc. This even Gantt chart, a third-party library where we incorporate it and we Dockerize it together. Now, that means that allows us now to take real ERP solutions like every ERP system. Now we can even continue them and bring them in our digital foundation, connecting them with the APIs. But even we see now that what Infor is doing, that it helps already, that now these cloud-based solutions are much better fit for, it's not real, complete for digital foundation, but they fit much easier. That helps already, but we can take the legacy of the new ones. And then step by step, say, modernize the way to Industry 4.0 by intelligent processes, fixing bottlenecks, replacing legacy ERP systems step by step, say sunset the old back, and then intelligent tasks, bring them in to go to intelligent enterprises. That's the way we're going. Now, let me explain in this way. In the beginning slide, I mentioned already what we did in Bahn's time with the Bahn shell, where we have all these components like ERP, but then the project control was even linked herein. Now I see that we even bring the project control module, like in Vallejo, in the very modern world from the Rappit world as modern client servers, but here we incorporate them in this world with the APIs. That means here we have the traditional systems of record, as legacy, we incorporate them in our modern world, and then the decoupled point, so long it is generic, when it is customer specific, it's 10 times easier to run a project-driven world, and the bill and even the purchase part can become immediately on the project and in a much easier way. That makes ERP much more simple. The same we see that ERP fits not in warehouse management, in transportation management, in shop floor management. We did it ourselves, but the documents are not flexible enough. We do not understand retail, supply chain. We're becoming more from the inbound enterprise and not from the outbound supply chain. And therefore, we have no clue in ERP what it means. And it was more done with document management, and even fits not. Now here we see we replace, instead of ERP, replace a warehouse management solution, replace a shop floor control solution, replace the transportation management, and use the ERP where it fits for in the traditional way. And therefore, an Infor modern cloud solution can communicate in a very modern UI environment, and then we take our Rappit Composer and do our workflow stuff therein. Now, that means, again, what we do, coming to a conclusion, yes, we can take the old or the new one, a system of records. Even the new one, in my opinion, are a system of records. Even they do not deal with case management. They are still transactional oriented, where we build most of the source code. What we built, ERP, are still in Infor, more or less, adopted, because it's done in the same smart way. We did it, but we did it with tools from last century, but not in the Dockerized tools from today. That means it's still systems of record from its architectural way of thinking. Here we can take the workflow elements different. Now, we link them together. Here we take the workflow elements with Rappit Development and Rappit Composer, and we make them available, what we call, for the Internet of Business. On the same moment, we have the Internet of Things, and try never to integrate the Internet of Things with this system of records. It's 1,000 times too integrated. That's where we spend all this big money with these millions and millions and doing it in the wrong website. Do it never in SAP with IoT or never in Infor. Your machine-to-machine stuff never should be done there. Can be so much simpler with the Composer, where we build a workflow for the operator and do 1 second before a transaction, we link the IoT part together and we bring it in the Internet of People. Now, that's another way of thinking. In my opinion, we see 3 internets. The Internet of Things, let it be, is a sensor. And that is even real time, instead of what we see there in the data elements therein we see the real-time elements, but we can take it on one moment before this one with a sensor, and even communicate with our mobiles, where we can take every sensor on the latest moment. And 1 minute before the transaction, we can take the alerts of these sensors and adopt them. From a Wi-Fi environment where someone taking out of this mass billions of sensor data, some elements therein. Now, with the Rappit Composer is a much better way. We can even integrate ERP solutions, or we link them here. We have 2 options, and we replace them step by step and integrate them with complex applications, or we integrate them with very simple workflows on this moment. We can do both. In this one, here we see them as the Internet of Business, and here we bring them to the Internet of People. The job to be done. That is the most important thing to see this one. Clayton Christensen, the late Harvard professor, had a very good opinion, and I will send the document with this one, even in the way we are. It's coming out of my autobiography, where we built new tools, and I even described his vision therein. That means the real disruptive innovation should be done in a totally new way for the job to be done on the latest moment, and not done here. Never ever we can do disruptive innovation. That's the problem. We have to do it with minimum viable products, etc. Disruptive innovation has no chance in this one. It's killing this one. That's the reason I could not do it in Baan. I quit and I do it again. And that's doing on the latest moment in the workflow. Bringing this together. Now, all the things is people. Our secret is the people. I mentioned already the first one in Baan, the Baan culture, etc. Now we continue here in our people in India. You see here my two sons with even visiting India. My son Paul is the CFO, and my son Atyan is the CEO running. And you see here, I was myself in this team, and we see what's going on. Attractive. These people are running for many years. And here I see Ramanathan, my most instrumental person in India, and own a lot to Ramanathan. He built for me Baan company in India all the years. He was a general manager. I have given my wallet to him in my first presentation. I explained and everything he did. He came again after Baan with me in Cordis, and now he's more or less retired, half retired, but he's spending as a board member at least a day, also a week, to mentoring my two sons and mentoring my team in India. And it's also important understanding the culture, and important for us is that we are not losing the Baan culture. I believe that we still even increasing the Baan culture, and that's an important element. Now here I'm there, my last visit a few months ago, staying there here with also my executive team. Some people are working here for 30 years with me already. Smart people joined me from Baan. Some people, others joined me again from Baan after Baan in Cordis. Some people from Cordis, and now with me here. Now, I'm always involved. If I'm there for 3 days, they show me all this stuff. I like to be the painter, being involved in these paintings that I'm doing. And here they share all the stuff what they're doing for me. Now that's again and again, I mentioned this team already. Here, let me close with this one. Our meetings, if we have at home, for me at home, you see in the same office where I'm sitting here, I'm dealing with Ramanathan and the other people in India, and we're dealing together. Now, here, they invited me on my visit last year as a reunion with core people who joined me in Baan in 1987, 85, etc. They are now executives everywhere and it's good to have these old friends. Still, they feel that they own me a lot, and we have still a very close relationship, learning from each other, etc. And here Ramanathan explaining to my team in Coimbatore the Baan culture, better to ask for forgiveness, what to do, no hierarchy, you have access to everyone in it. The culture of the people, that is what we're doing. Now, let's close with this one. Thank you very much, and I hope it is instrumental, and with this, I will send you also some documentations. Okay, thank you very much.